Hello. Hi, guys. Good evening, everyone. I think we have started. Hi, guys. Good evening. Thanks for having me here. So, today we'll be talking about, I think, about how to successfully monetize your mobile game. And my name is Abhishek Agrawal. I'm a game producer in Games and Technologies. So, let me quickly introduce myself again. So in Games and Technologies, what I do, uh, I'm a senior game producer there in Games and Technologies. I also handles developer-publisher relationship, and also I'm a user experience expert. I've also worked with industry giants like Nazara and Reliance before, and I have a pretty like 10 years of experience. I've started my career in gaming only. So talking about Ludo King is among one of the server titles produced by Games Technologies. We have around 800 million plus downloads and worldwide and 25 million plus DAUs, combining all the games together. We have certain titles other than Ludo King, which are doing very good in the market, whether it is Carom King, SNL King, Action King, a new title, and Bubble King. We also have Cricket King, Color King, and Sudoku King itself, and certain titles which will be live in coming months. So just jump into the topic right away. So let's discuss what are the three stages of the free-to-play business model and how you can monetize them, you can monetize your game well by using these business models. So the three stages is first is acquisition, second we said engagement, and third is the main most important stage for which you all are here is monetization. So while acquisition is still a key, but a lot of more attention is paid to the engagement and monetization of the players. This is because the longer a player is engaged, the more likely they wants to like to pay or continue to pay in the game. So here are some things which needs to be considered before like you just hop into the monetization part, like the engagement and the retention. So what I mean by engagement is, does the product have enough your game, or your product have enough gameplay or depth of content to sustain a high number of days played for your users? Or when we talk about the retentions, so are these compelling reasons for the players to keep coming back into the product, such as like such as a retention hook, live operations, new features, and so on. So when your game has a hooking retention and engagement, then you will be able to monetize your game. So the last part is the monetization. So when you talk about the monetization part, you think there plenty options in your game to purchase. Like users have certain inventory, user have certain options, or are there different things the player willing to pay? Does the product have the depth in the monetization? Like what, for the instance, what are the numbers of motivation monetized, like how many times you are able to monetize a user, giving them the particular motivation to monetize. So if you ask a broader question with me, like uh, or yourself, ki whether your game can sustain thousands of hours of play, or your game can sustain thousands, a player can spend thousands of dollars in your game while feeling happy about doing it. So when you say monetization, so this let's talk about monetization as a single part for the gaming. So monetization can be categorized into two branches. First is in-app purchase, and which is again subcategorized with subscription and normal IAP purchases. You can see an example from Ludo King. I have given, you can see in the screen, there's a King Pass, it is still in alpha testing, but I have shown you here. You can see a SKU, a bundle offer, which is an example of a normal IAP purchase a user can buy from the game. When you're talking about the second part of the monetization, it is advertising. So you, as a advertising source, you can have a banner ads or rectangular ads. You can have interstitial ads in your game, or you can have a in-game ads, which is the immersive ads, which is a new type of ads, which we can see in games. These are so immersive in game that you feel like it is a part of the game. Some of the example of rewarded ads is like this: you play a rewarded video, you see a video, and you'll get coins or a diamonds. These all examples are from Ludo King. So let's discuss these two monetization models separately, starting with the IAP one. So as you see in the graph shown here, that IAP on Google Play Store and App Stores have been growing from starting of 2019 or before. And we can see a steady growth of 15% CAGR. So there, by showing this graph, I mean to say there is a need to focus on IAPs as well, other than the advertisement, because IAPs are growing and it will still grow heavily in like coming years. So now coming up to how you can monetize your game through IAP well and the Ludo King way. So as I mentioned before, you need to have a strong core loop that can keep the game or the players hooked. Like your game loop should be very strong, that user should feel to spend in your game. Your game loop should ask user that uh, there is a need of doing IAPs in your game. And you should have a number of microtransactions in the game that is inbuilt in your code loop. When I talk about the microtransactions, so microtransaction is a model where user can purchase virtual items for small amounts with in-game money, and sometimes it can be cosmetic and sometimes it can affect the gameplay. So keep these microtransactions are of the part of the game loop. So when you keep these microtransactions as a part of the game loop, what you will see, users start spending your virtual currency, and you will create a need of uh, buying these items or buying these virtual currencies in your game. Like you can see in an example with Ludo King, what we have done is here we are we use 10 coins to send an emoji to a different user, and it's a part of the game. And which is a cosmetic part. And when you comes when you see this undo button, which is showing you pay certain diamonds to undo or re-roll the dice, which affects the gameplay. So now it is a part of the game core loop, and microtransactions has been done. So now when the user will spend these currency, they will automatically fall less of these currency, and they will go and do an IAP or watch a rewarded ad video to purchase more coins or diamonds to do these microtransactions, which will affect again your IAP revenues or your rewarded revenues. So my next question is like how you can monetize the Ludo King way. I'll show you a graph like by like till 2019, our growth for our IAP revenue was very steep. We are just having 10% growth in our IAP revenues. But as we do more and more market research, we have done a lot of alpha testing, beta testing. So from 2019 to 2021, our growth has been like skyrocketed, and we have a growth of 70%, and we are very sure that it will grow until 2022 and 24. So what were the reasons that our IAP's revenue was very low before 2019, and what was the reason it became high after 2019? What are the market research? What changes we have done, and what are the problems? Also, to let you know, in this period, we are on the top grossing chart for 3 months during 2020 and 2021 in India Google Play Store. So what went wrong? This is the first question we ask ourselves. What went wrong? And this is something you need to study with your game when you started reaching your benchmark revenues, and you need to learn from that. So what went wrong? As you can see your screen, as you can see our store. This is our previous store before we changed it to get higher revenues and higher number of buyer conversions. So the store looked very cluttered. So the player doesn't have too much information. Oh, sorry, the player have too much information, and it is too many complex options are there, and these things like, tends to differ their choosing choices. So therefore, the layout of a store and SKU presentation can impact player purchasing behavior. So as you can see, the starter pack also, the SKUs are very similar. You cannot differentiate them by just by looking at them. So this is creating a confusion at the user level. So the problem what we are facing, that user are visiting stores, they are visiting starter packs, but they are not buying. So what is the solution and what went right for us? What we have done to achieve that IAP revenue growth of 70%? We have changed our store. We have changed our store drastically. We have changed our SKU designs. Our store are more clear now. So we redesigned our store to provide a more consistent presentation of all SKUs. So players could more easily compare their options. Also, purchase suggestions were added to some items, as you can see. 100% of the bestseller or popular badges are added. By presenting items as a social norm, we hope to encourage buyers' choice, like giving them an option of like this pack is we are selling at 1000% more. So these are the things which we have done and which worked for us on our store basis and our SQA basis. Same in case with the starter pack. As you can see now, we can visually differentiate. Like in this third pack, we'll get less coins than the fourth pack, and in the second pack, we'll get lesser coins in the second pack or third pack. So these visual representation, the user can come to the store and they just directly buy it without getting confused. So now, so for IAP monetization, there are two major pillars, which are like buyer convergence and returning buyers. We have solved our problems of IAP revenues, but our major problem was the buyer convergence, which we are seeing was very low. Same in that particular period of before 2019, because this is not a work of one day. We have worked over months to achieve this growth. So the major problem was with buyer convergence. Buyers are not getting converted, and if they are converted, they are not returning before 2019. So same as you can see, our growth was very like steep in before 2019. After 2019, we have seen 100% buyer conversion, and it's live ops are still in operations for different things. Same in case for the returning buyers, it is like 2% was the returning buyers like percentage, and we have grown it to like 200%. So what was the learning why these buyers are not getting converted easily, and what's stopping them to return to buy? So as you can see the screen of the first, you can see the starter pack prices. It starting with 140 rupees in India. I'll just take India as an example because we localize our prices according to the country. So I have taken India as an example here. So when you see the starter pack, it starts from 140 rupees in Indian rupees. So what we identified that the pricing of the initial value pack was acting as a hurdle for converting in the IAP users. And it had to be revamped based on the demographics and socio-economic aspect of the targeted country. Hence, we introduced this smaller pack of 10 rupees with an increasing threshold by each purchase, making it like easier to break the barrier for the first purchase. So when you see a user comes into the game, you can see a 10 rupees pack right on the main menu, and user have just choice to buy this 10 rupees pack, and this will break the ice, break the hurdle. Once he buy this 10 rupees pack, he'll move onto the 25 rupees pack and then to 50 rupees pack, which definitely help us in for in buyer conversions also and returning buyers also. Once they reach this threshold of 50 rupees, now they are familiar with the games. They're using the virtual currency more and more, and they are willing to pay us more, and our LTVs are increasing, and our average revenue per user, paying users for RPPU was also increasing. Same problem we faced with our ad revenue. So ad revenue growth for any company is a major part right now, because companies are majorly focusing on ad revenues. So like, we have three main types of ads in Ludo King, and most of you people also use these three main types of ads, which is banner ads, interstitial ads, and the most rewarded one is for the developers also and for the players also, is rewarded ads. So two formats among the three are doing good for us, because you know your game better, you know where to place the banner ads, you know where to place interstitial ad without hindering the user gameplay. But letting user see your rewarded ads, because rewarded ads are more like, they give you more rewards in terms of ECPMs. The ECPMs are higher, they will give you more revenue. So you want user to play more rewarded ads. So the placements of rewarded ads was a major concern for us, where to place the rewarded ads and how the existing rewarded ads can work. And so we identified these problems and we tried to solve it. So same, when you see this graph, same till 2019, we have a very steep growth, and we have a 100% growth after to 2019, because we identified our problems and we solved it accordingly. So what are the problems that we are facing there with rewarded ads? So when you see the left side of the game, you see our old main menu. When you see in the left corner, you see a rewarded ad button. So here, this is a static button. Users click this button, our rewarded ad plays, and user just get the coins. But we see a very lower conversion for these rewarded ads. So what we have done is, like, we introduce a new button, which is which is not a static button, which have certain animations and a text written over it, which called free. So adding a free badge to this rewarded app icon makes player aware that this is an offer and you can get something for free. And we started seeing more conversion for the rewarded ad right away. So also we have certain cosmetic items which are available on rewarded videos, like our themes, and we are also giving rewarded our diamonds on the rewarded second in-game currency on the rewarded videos, but they are not being utilized fully initially. And while doing the root cause analysis, we found that the user were not aware of the presence of these rewarded videos. And hence, to tackle this, we added a pop-ups in the game to make user aware of the same. Like, it is not thrown away to the user right away. It comes in sessions. It comes according to a different cohort of users, and it is designed specifically. But we started showing users the pop-ups of these rewarded ads, and it has done wonders for us, which resulted in higher rewarded video impressions. So you need to realize that all the example I had just talked about might not work exactly the same way for your game, but the basic or the thought behind them is something that you can always apply independently of the game, independently of the game type or game genre. So what are the key takeaways? Like, if you talk about key takeaways, it's like, you have to strengthen your game loop to generate more revenue. Stronger the game loop, the more engaging the user will be with your game, and they will stick more, and you will generate more revenue from them. Less is more. Unclutter your game. The mistakes that we have done in Ludo King, don't do that. Keep your store very clear. Show your users what they want to go. Show them offer pop-ups accordingly. Understand your customer, like target your audience correctly via proper research. Don't go in a hurry, like don't design without studying the market. uh, Provide offers cohort wise, country wise, demographics wise. And last and least is keep it simple, like make your offers and reward easy to understand and redeem. Like in our case, it was inside the game, user was unable to find it but they want to use it. I think I am done. Thank you very much. I'll, hey, so let's take some questions. Question is from Sai Praneeth. Hi. What is your ad revenue and IAP revenue split? It's still more inclined towards ad revenue. Like you can say it is a 70-30. But we are making it possible, like we are working over it to make it 50-50, or more inclined towards IAP. So I think I cannot give you this number of interstitial RVA banner, but it is morely inclined towards rewarded videos. How do you increase interstitial revenues? So interstitial revenue is something like you want to put interstitial in the game, but you don't want to hinder the gameplay. That is something we follow. And users, you don't want to hinder the user gameplay. You need to find the spots where you can uh, provide user interstitials. That's the trick, and like the game design strategies work there. Top three ad networks for a better result. I think it depends game to game. Facebook, AdMob, these are the market leaders right now. You can use them. You can use the RTB uh, things, as RTB is released now for everyone. Karan has asked this question: are you planning to have more meta in Ludo King, like collectibles or NFT? Yes, yes, we have a different plans for Ludo King. Like we'll be coming up with different updates in next 2 or 3 months, and you'll be having a more collectibles in Ludo Kings. So I have a question with Surya: having more ad networks help in increase in the ad revenue in RTB. Surya, this is something very like having more ad network will not help. Having a quality ad networks in your mediation will help in RTB. And you need to set your ads network RTBs in that way that you'll get good ECPMs. Mr. J. Did King Pass helped you with monetization? Yes, definitely. King Pass helped us in monetization. This is something very new we have introduced in our game. Uh, uh, by that only we have come in the top grossing list in Google Play India. And because King Pass is something which is gratifying user with a sense of premiumness. So yes, it worked for us. It worked very well for us, and users still loving it. There's a question from Sai. Are you exploring new ad formats like audio and non-intrusive, etc.? Uh, Yes, I we are looking into different ad formats also, but not directly. We don't put any ad directly in Ludo King. We started experimenting it with different games that we have, and if we find it proper and we find that it is not hindering users' experience, then we'll put into Ludo King. What is the future of monetization in rather moving gaming industry? Uh, as I told you about the IAPs, so IAP is like it's IAP is a market which is growing, but uh, ad revenue and ad monetization market is a huge hit right now. So monetization with IAPs and ad revenues, they are both growing, and I think uh, industry is still in growing phase, and we are yet to see, like, it will be like in 10 years we'll see a threshold, not anytime soon. There is more IAP for you, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. So I think it's from all the tiers. Introduction of like this 10 rupees, we fetched more of the IAPs from tier 3 also. This is a question from Krishna. Since the users are paying to start playing games, will this solve the retention problem, assuming acquisition problem is solved? I think user pays in your game once he feels that he he started enjoying a code loop. I think no users pay in your game for the very first day until it's a peer pressure. So if he is enjoying your code loop, he'll come back to your game, and because he trusted your game for paying, so it will improve your retention. I think it can improve your D7 and D14 also. Sorry, there is a good question you have asked, Mr. J. Do you recommend a regular PR for a small company launching their game, or going through influencers would be a better way? I think when you launch your game, don't go with in as a small company or a regular company. Don't go with influencers. Don't go with a PR. Just stick there. Improve your retention numbers, improve your engagement, and once you find that particular benchmark numbers, what we're looking for, that users started loving your game, whether it's a small cohort size like 100 or 500 or 1,000 users, when they started loving your game, in after that you can start acquiring users, and after that you can do PR or you can do influencer marketing. But once you establish your game in the market, then you can do these things, because uh, throwing money away, I'll never recommend. uh, I heard some gaming industry people say that I don't accept a penny from IAP. How is it possible for Ludo King? uh, this I think it depends game to game. I've seen hyper casuals, they are not doing in any IAPs. They are not making money from IAPs, because their code loops are designed to, like, they are designed for ad revenues only. So I think it depends game to game, and their perception is from their game. IAP revenues are still alive in the market. You need to introduce certain features, and as I also told before, like microtransactions, which are a part of the game, helps user to earn, like, to spend more. I think this is the last question I'm taking. I think my time, we are out of time. We can uh, top three ways to acquire. So this is a question: top three ways to acquire user of or installation. So I think you can acquire users from different platform altogether, like uh, Facebook, AdWords. These are the platform you can acquire users on a very low CPIs if you do your study right. I think we are done with the questions, and thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for your time.